In our discussion of built-in functions, what better place to start than with the print function? We've already been using that kind of a lot, so let's dive into exactly what makes it tick. So, at its most basic, the print function is, as we've seen it, print, open parentheses, a string that is wrapped in quotation marks, close parentheses. But some of you have noticed through your own research and just messing around with it that the print function does a lot more than that. First off, you can add strings together. We call that concatenation. That is one way to do it. That is the way that I prefer to do it, but you are not required to. And the drawback of using concatenation is you have to convert things to strings manually. However, if we look at the exact layout of the print function, we see it has a few more options than just that. So you have your objects. These are the things that we're printing. You can do as many of these as you want, separated by commas. And if you do the comma separation method as opposed to adding them together, concatenation, it will handle the conversion for you. Sep, this one is a separator. By default, this is a space. You can make this anything. You can make it commas, you could make it dashes, you could make it entire words, whatever floats your boat, whatever meets the needs of your program. So sep is your separator. Again, that is a blank space, a single blank space by default. And this is what's going to be bolted onto the end of your print function, obviously. By default, this is a new line character, which I'll explain in a moment. And then we have file and flush. We are not concerned with these, but I encourage you to look these up on your own. These are some more technical, more advanced things that you can work with. Of course, by default, file, I believe, is nothing, and flush is false, meaning that your print function is buffered. Let's have a look. So, no, default is sys.stdout, system.standardoutput. So that is your default for file, and then again, flush is either true, and then your print stream is flushed, or it's buffered, and your flush variable is false. So, some more examples looking at the print function. You can write it like this. You can do print hello, comma, how are you? And then these two are going to be separated by a blank space. You can create a set of strings as shown here. We'll talk about sets later. That will print the set. We could test it here. You could see it for yourself. We'll show it off later. So we also have this here. We see how the separator argument works. So your separator argument, you have to specify by name. If you come back up to the syntax, you'll see that sep, end, file, and flush are all listed by name with an equal sign. That is because objects here can be an indefinite number of inputs. So, with all that being explained, let's have a look at the print function. So we're here in online Python, and let's say we have first name equals, and then last name equals. Okay, so let's also do age equals 30. Again, we were working with variables we've seen before, but these will help us, keep things nice and standardized. We make more sense of everything. So let's print all of this on one line. Now, there are two ways we can do it. Print, we can do first name plus a blank space, last name we'll do that, comma, age. We'll add str age. Well, you do it that way. That is the way that I prefer it. You may use whatever method you like. So you might want to do print first name, last name, age, and age. You can do it this way. So we have our list of inputs, and these are going to be put together. First name, space, last name, space. You see the issue that I have here. But nevertheless, it will work. So let's see it in action. So you could see, that's why I don't really like using the comma separated inputs, because you lose a little bit of control when you're dealing with these. You have to remember to do this. Remove your spaces. And so when you're looking at it straight on, it's not quite as readable, at least not in my opinion. Because now we lose one of our commas. Not a big fan. So you can do it however you like. I prefer method number 1 here. Now let's say we want to explicitly define, and we're going to use this setup here. Let me just copy paste it. And we want this to end and go down to we want it to go down 2 lines. So let's actually move this up so we can see it. So we want this to go down by 2 lines. So what we do, we can do, actually, yeah, let's do this. So end equals, and we want to do 2 blank spaces, or we want to leave a blank line. So we do that. Each of these backslash ends, these are new line characters. So you're going to see that this will actually drop down by 2 lines. And then our last line here is going to have some blank space. Yeah, you can see how that works. So these are just some ways that you can call your print function. Any of these 3 is going to do you just fine. So but let's just say we want to do a separator. We're going to have no separator. Sep equals and an empty string. Now what happens? This third one bashes these together. Now we have to have our spaces. I have to do comma. There we go. And we have to include our space there. And now that should fix it and make our formatting better. That's more like it. Alright, so this is all you really need to know for the print function for this course. But of course, you could do a lot more with this. Just play around with it, practice it, and you'll see. So next, we're going to look at some more functions. We're going to take a look at the append function. So stay tuned for that.